rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your sister in Islam, Salafi Ahl Sunnah. Whether you call me Mango as well. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about like mostly I'm addressing the older generation here, like because being 18 and tempting to be upon the path of Allah, I see many problems with the older generation, the youth, and this whole like generation gap, and I just wanted to focus on that, and obviously this situation of women and the masajid, and again mostly addressing the older generation. Not saying everyone from the older generation are messed up or anything like that. I'm just saying we have like issues between us both, and then this is just gap that has to be filled, anyways, what's happened is that first the youth, when they're put off by Islam, it's usually because it's this version of Islam that has a lot of bid'ah, that has a lot of false practices, that is a very cultural, and when the youth see this, it's not a pleasant sight to them, and this is why they don't want it, because it's not the pure state of Islam. How can you fall in love with something that isn't actually Islam? Okay, so this is the situations that we show them this Islam that isn't Islam. It's cultural a lot of the times. Anyways, when parents try to go pray, and like it's like why you don't know why you're going to pray, so there's no benefit in it if you don't know why. Anyways, with that aside, so basically, like when someone comes to Islam, when a young person, like someone a youth comes to Islam, and then they start searching Islam, and then they look to the Quran, in the language that they know, and then they go to look to the Hadith, then they look to the books of the scholars and the books of knowledge and the books of ilm, and then they start seeing the pure Islam, the correct Islam, inshallah, and then they start questioning what the older generation said, is that it doesn't match up, and that's when this whole gap becomes, and this like generation rift, if you like, happens, because like they like no, well this that's bid'ah, because like when you read it and you look at this and start giving the evidences, and then it becomes a problem, right? And this whole situation of like women going to the masjid is just like one of those problems, right? So sorry, someone's at the door. Anyways, so like we look to the society today, like when we are starting to neglect our young Muslim youth who may be partying, going out, doing haram, right? And we're starting to neglect them as if they're not a part of this ummah, which is wrong, right? And like when they do come to Islam, then you start like like saying don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, and stuff like that. And it's a lot of it's cultural a lot of the time, and that's what I was trying to discuss, this whole women going to the masjid, they're like, well, it's better to pray, stay home, which it is, and we can't deny the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying like look to the pros and cons, and then you'll see for yourself like what is better, because there's fitna everywhere, wallahi, everywhere. Even within our houses, we've got the TV screen there, we've got everything there, and it's fitna. So going to the masjid is one of the places that has the least fitna, even within a masjid, subhanallah. Now there is, but what I'm just saying is that to the older generation, to mothers and parents and everything, like your child was not upon Deen before, now they're praying 5 times a day. Might not be the way you pray, because it might be this whole madhab business, and but don't think as if like, oh my gosh, they're on the wrong path. It's not. This whole madhab business is something that again we'll have to talk about another time, but like alhamdulillah, they're starting to practice, right? It's maybe not be the way you practice, but why don't you learn from each other? That's what I'm trying to say. Like going to the masjid is not, it's not for women, it's not un-Islamic, it's just a great environment for them to be in, and in the society we live in today, the masjid is probably one of the safest places to be. So that's all I want to say really. So jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.